Hello student. So after completion of the brainstem, let's start the cerebellum. In Ayurveda, it is called the Laghu Mastishka. So it is the largest part of the hindbrain, and it should be located or present into that the posterior cranial fossa. It is present in behind the pons and the medulla. And main function of this cerebellum, that is it controls or coordinates the all the voluntary movements into that the body, and it is the second largest part of the brain. Then anteriorly it separates from the brainstem by a cavity that is called the fourth ventricle. So let's see the detail of the cerebellum. So here in this diagram you can see that is the cerebellum. So this one. So the cerebellum, it is the largest part of the hindbrain and the second largest part of the brain as a whole. The weight of that is the cerebellum, that is near about 150 grams, and it is located into that the posterior cranial fossa of the skull, and it should be located underneath or beneath the tentorium cerebelli, behind the pons and the medulla. So here you can see that is the pons and medulla, that is the part of the brainstem. So it should be present posterior to that the pons and the medulla and the midbrain. So it is separated from the pons and medulla by a triangular cavity. It is called the fourth ventricle. Then the surface of the cerebellum, it is indentated by a numerous fine slit-like sulci called the fissure. So here you can see it shows that is small depression-like structure. So that is called the fissures. This one. And between that the fissure, there lie more or less parallel folds here. That is between the two fissure, there is shows that is the parallel folds. It is called the folia. So this one. So in general, that is the fissures and the folia of the cerebellum lie transversely from side to side. Then the cerebellum consists of the two hemispheres. So here in this diagram you can see that is the right hemisphere and that is the left hemisphere, and each hemisphere of the cerebellum are connected to three parts of the brainstem by a large tract that is called the peduncles. So here you can see that is the three peduncles are present: the inferior cerebellar peduncle, the middle cerebellar peduncle, and the superior cerebellar peduncle. So throughout that these three peduncle, it is attached to that the three parts of the brainstem, that is the midbrain, pons and the medulla. Then the general functions of the cerebellum. So it maintains the equilibrium of the body. Second one, it regulates the muscle tone, and third one, it coordinates the somatic motor activities. So these are the functions which is done by the cerebellum. After then we should have to see that is the external features of the cerebellum. So external features of the cerebellum, it includes the two surfaces, the two notches, three fissures and the three lobes. So let's see each external features of the cerebellum. So firstly we should have to see that is, let's see first that is the parts of the cerebellum. So cerebellum that consists of the three parts, that is the two lateral hemispherical lobe. So here right and the left, that is the two lateral hemisphere, that is called the cerebellar hemisphere, and between to that the hemisphere there is presence a median worm like portion. So this one, so it is called the vermis. The superior and inferior aspect of the vermis are termed as superior and inferior vermis. Then let's see that is the surfaces. So there are the two surfaces are present, the superior surface and the inferior surface. So superior surface of the cerebellum, it is the convex. So here you can see the two cerebellar hemisphere are continuous with each other on this surface. then the inferior surface, it is present deep median notch called the vallecula. So here you can see that is the deep notch that is called the vallecula, and from this that the part is present, it is called the inferior surface. In the another diagram you can see this one. This is the vermis central part, and this is the deep notch is present, it is called the vallecula. Okay? So this vallecula is formed by the inferior vermis. So here you can see that is the vermis, and it should be forming by that is the inferior part of the vermis. Each separate, that is the vermis or that is the vallecula, it separates the two cerebellar hemisphere. The floor of the vallecula is formed by the inferior vermis and is limited on each side by the sulcus valleculi. Okay? So that is the two surfaces. After then we should have to see that is the notches of the cerebellum. So the anterior aspect of the cerebellum, that is marked by a shallow anterior cerebellar notch which accommodates the pons and the medulla oblongata. So for this we should have to see that the diagram. So here you can see this one. This is the notch which lodges the pons and medulla anteriorly. Then the next one, that is the posterior cerebellar notch. This one. So it is deep, narrow, and lodges the falx cerebri. Then we should have to see that is the fissures. So there are three fissures are present in relations with the cerebellum. So first, that is the horizontal fissure. So here in this diagram you can see that is the horizontal fissure. So this one. So as the name suggests, it should be present horizontally. So it is most conspicuous and runs along with the lateral and the posterior margin of the cerebellum, and it is mark the junction between the superior surface and the inferior surface of the cerebellum. So because of the presence of that the horizontal fissure, it divides the cerebellum into the upper part, it is called the superior surface, and the lower part, it is called the inferior surface. Then second one, that is the posterolateral fissure. So here you can see this one. This is. So here this is the posterolateral fissure. So this one and this one. So the posterolateral fissure, it lies on the inferior surface of the cerebellum. So here you can see that is the inferior surface, and separates the flculonodular lobe from the rest of the cerebellum. So here you can see that is the flculonodular lobe of the cerebellum or the flculos. So these two one. So because of the presence of that the fissure, it should be separate the cerebellum from the flculonodular lobe. Then the third one, that is the fissura prima, or that is called the primary fissure. So here in this diagram you can see this is the fissura prima or the primary fissure. So it is the V-shaped fissura prima on the superior surface which cuts the superior vermis at the junction of anterior 2/3 and posterior 1/3. It divides the corpus cerebelli into the anterior and the posterior or the middle lobe. So here in the another diagram you can get the clear idea. That is, here the fissura prima is present. So this one. So because of this, it can be divided. That is, this is the anterior lobe and that is the posterior or the middle lobe. So this one. So because of the fissura prima, it divides the anterior lobe and the middle or the posterior lobe. After then we should have to see that is the anatomical subdivisions of the cerebellum. So anatomically the cerebellum divided into following three lobes. So that is the anterior lobe, the posterior lobe and the flculonodular lobe. So here you can see that is the anterior lobe, the posterior or the middle lobe or this flculonodular lobe. So let's see first the anterior lobe. So this one. So it lies on the superior surface anterior to the fissura prima. So here you can see that is the fissura prima or the primary fissure. So above to it the lobe of the cerebellum is present. It is called the anterior lobe. Then the posterior lobe or the middle lobe. So this one here you can see. So it lies between the fissura prima and the posterior surface and the posterolateral fissure. So here you can see. So between that the two margins that the large lobe is present, that is called the posterior or the middle lobe. And the last one, that is the flculonodular lobe. Here you can see. So it is the smallest of all the lobes and it lies inferior surface in front of the posterolateral fissure. This one. So these are the external features of the cerebellum. After then, let's see that is the parts of the vermis. So because of the presence of the different fissures on the surface of the cerebellum, that the vermis, it should be divided into the 9 parts. So these 9 parts, that is the vermis, here you can see, and this vermis, it should be divided into that the 9 parts. So that is the uppermost part of the vermis, so it is called the lingula. Then below to it, the other part of the vermis, it is called the central lobule. So this one. Then below to it, the third part, it is called the culmen. So here you can see, this is the culmen. Then the fourth part, it is called the declive. So this one. Then the fifth part, it is called the folium. This one. So this part which is present above to that the horizontal fissure. So here you can see, that is the 5 parts which is present above to that the horizontal fissure. That is the lingula, central lobule, the culmen, declive and the folium. Then the remaining 4 part, that is the sixth is number, it is called the tuber. Then the 7th number, it is called the pyramid. So here you can see, that is the pyramid. Then the 8th number, it is called the uhula. So this one, here you can see the uhula. And the last one part, the lowermost part, it is called the nodule. So here the nodule. So below to the horizontal fissure, there the vermis, it should be divided into that the 4 part. That is the tuber, pyramid, uhula and the nodule. After then, we should have to see, that is the subdivisions of the cerebellar hemisphere. So because of the presence of that is the different fissures on the surface of the cerebellum, that is the cerebellum, it is again divided into that the different part. So first part here, this is called the ala, this one. Then the second part, it is called the quadrangular lobule. So here you can see this one. So it is called the quadrangular lobule. Then the third part, it is called the simple lobule. So this part, it is called the simple lobule. Then the next part, it is called the superior semilunar lobule. So this one, the superior semilunar lobule. So this 4 part, it should be present above to that the horizontal fissure. Then below to that the horizontal fissure, there are again divided into that the 4 parts. So next to it, it is called the inferior semilunar lobule. So this one. Then the next to it, that is present the biventral lobule. So this one. Here you can see, this is the biventral lobule. Next to it, that is the tonsil. So this one rounded part, it is called the tonsil. And last part, it is called the flcuolus. This one. So these are the subdivisions of the cerebellar hemisphere. After then, let's see that is the peduncles. So the peduncles, in this, the afferent and the efferent fibers of the cerebellum grouped together on each side into the three large bundle of nerve fibers called the cerebellar peduncle. And the cerebral peduncle, they are three in numbers. That is the superior cerebellar peduncle, which connects the midbrain. So here you can see the superior cerebellar peduncle, the middle cerebellar peduncle that connect to that the pons. So here you can see, and the inferior cerebellar peduncle, this one, so it connects the medulla oblongata. So let's see first, that is the middle cerebellar peduncle. So the middle cerebellar peduncle, they are afferent in nature, and it is connected to that the pons, and it transmit the impulses from the pontine nuclei to the opposite cerebellar peduncle. So that is the middle cerebellar peduncle. Then next one is the superior cerebellar peduncle. So superior cerebellar peduncle, it is efferent in nature and it connects to midbrain. The fibers arises from the dentate nucleus. Then the last one, that is the inferior cerebellar peduncle. So this one, so it is also afferent in nature and connects the medulla oblongata, means carry the impulses, afferent impulses, that is from the medulla oblongata to that the cerebellar peduncles. So these are the three peduncles through which, that is the brainstem that is attached to the cerebellum, and the exchange of the afferent and the efferent impulses that should be passing out throughout that these peduncles.